So, this series is wild work. Um, here's the thing. I gave you these volumes before I myself finished them. I'd only read the first one when I gave these to you. For anyone who's curious, Superman Meshi or Superman Eats. We had the first three volumes. Um, and I actually thought this was going to be a very different series than it turned out to be.
Did you think it was going to be a series of a bunch of singular vignettes of Superman getting food somewhere and not have like a weird underlying plot line across the entire series?
I also thought that it was going to cover more than just Japan because
Um,
the title Superman Eats and it
no, Superman like obtains a complete obsession with Japanese food in this series.
is specifically Japanese food. Which is wild work in my opinion. I was not expecting it in books two and three. Like I thought we'd cover Japan in book one and then we'd move on to like Superman finding good food from like other places all over the world. No, no, no. We move on to Superman bringing other people to eat Japanese food.
Batman riding Superman's back.
Yeah. Superman and Supergirl both failing to get a particular limited edition Year of the Tiger cookie. Um, The Flash almost eating more than he could handle at a Japanese restaurant. Wonder Woman assuming that she can eat as much as Superman can. Um, I'm kind of disappointed as a result of that, but I do also acknowledge that I'm disappointed because I thought this series was going to be something that it isn't.
Yeah, I can see that. I kind of figured it was going to be just Japan.
I didn't. And you know what? I should have realized when I saw the covers for the second and third book where they're obviously still eating Japanese food.
I think the reason why I kind of figured it was going to stay all Japan is because this is a manga, and with the manga series like this, it's trying to be as relatable to its target audience as possible. So what is it going to consistently do if it's being published in a Japanese magazine? It's going to consistently go and show relatable moments at Japanese restaurants, just with fun
Yeah.
superhero characters.
Yeah.
They do mix it up here and there, and there are some really fun mix-ups in here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's still an absolute glowing sort of like fun little series about Japanese food and superheroes, you know? Like I definitely like found myself laughing quite often reading this. Sometimes out of genuine hilarity and sometimes out of sheer what the fuck is
You mean
happening? Like Galactus.
well, there's no Galactus here?
Oh, who was it? The big guy.
Big guy, because Galactus is Marvel.
Oh, sorry, not Galactus. Darkseid.
Dark Side.
Yeah. Darkseid showing up.
There's a they literally adapt the death of Superman in here and resolve
Yeah.
it with Japanese cuisine.
Yeah. Once again, wild fucking work.
And this is an arc that actually plays into the overarching romance of the series.
Yeah.
There's an overarching romance in the series.
Yeah. And it's exactly what you would expect Superman and Lois Lane.
Yep. They also like recreate scenes and like moments in the series in this continuity from other DC continuities, like DC animated. There's a few DCEU in there. There's uh there's my favorite, the really stupid Donner film Superman references, like turning back time is an actual thing he does pretty often.
Yeah. It's definitely or like fucking Batman buying a restaurant chain to bring it to Gotham. Um I and then all of them meeting together, like all of them finding out that they were like all eating together at one of those like eating alone places. Absolutely. And Batman was serving them. Wild.
It's a goofy
Truly.
little series.
It is. I don't think it's bad. I think
No,
it's quite good. I just disappointed myself when reading it.
you wish there was more variety in your food porn.
I do. I genuinely do. And I feel bad for wanting that, you know? Because,
Hmm.
like, the series obviously did not advertise itself that way. That was just something I assumed. So I did look up the two authors, Satoshi Miyagawa and Kai Kitago. Neither one's really done a whole lot of other stuff, except I think Satoshi Miyagawa has one other major manga that got adapted to an anime, and it's Battle Spaceship Tiramisu is the name of it. And actually, upon looking it up on Mal, that actually might be something that is now on my list to put into the hat when we're allowed to put things back into the hat. Meanwhile, the other author, Kai Kitago, has done a couple interesting one-shots. Um, that I saw when I was looking them up. Neither of them are like particularly like really big names though. When it comes to like manga and stuff, which was interesting. Um, and I didn't see any evidence that they worked together before this, which was even more interesting. Because I think often when I see authors paired together, I kind of expect it to be a little bit more like the Bakuman authors who always write together, or like almost always write together. Whereas this seems to be kind of a one-off that these two authors are writing together
I've
on
seen it
behalf of
before.
DC.
Even in Bakuman, they did have a lot of situations where it's like, yeah, we're gonna pair this writer and this artist up because we think they do really well together. And that is
Yeah,
something that does happen. Like I've
yeah,
seen the mangaka that does Kaguya Oshinoko has worked with quite a few different artists,
yeah,
including himself, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, that's fair. Um, it did hurt my soul a little bit to see Superman at a sushi restaurant ordering hamburger sushi, but also a surprisingly insightful set of comments from Aquaman about how people should not judge what other people are fond of.
Fair. I mean, I've had like because I'm the yeah fish person. Well, I do try fish when I go to sushi, like a rotating sushi restaurant. You know what I always seem to grab when it comes by?
The what?
The fucking America ass. Like just put a little like small strip of steak on the rice.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I don't think I've ever had American sushi like that. Like genuinely. And I think it's just because I like raw fish. Typically when I go to a sushi restaurant, I will just get the raw fish that I know that I like. I'm actually like even though I'm actually a pretty adventurous eater, I'm also a very conservative eater when it comes to what I order at a restaurant because I find things that I like and then I don't often change my orders at restaurants, you know, once I've figured out what I like. So it's like that's something that like I would never have thought to order, but it didn't look or sound bad.
I mean, look, it's hamburger and rice or steak and rice. What do you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, how bad can it be?
that's
The real
ah,
the real crime, or if you make the steak wrong or the hamburger wrong, sure.
yeah.
The real crime here is the price for it.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no. Um so I'm still so surprised that there was an underlying plot here that was connected through. I really was expecting like one shots chapters.
You went in expecting one shot, and you got
Plot
a plot revolving like an actual underlying plot line. It's like romance plot line.
and also time travel.
Yeah, yeah. There was a climax to this fucking series.
Yeah, like time travel, alternate universe. Um, Absolutely wild. Even a Starbucks reference. My God. Wild.
Completely wild.
Absolutely wild. I don't feel like the descriptions of the food too are like so illustrative. You know what I mean?
Again, I don't know that you get this if you try to do non-Japanese foods too often.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much as
Big
I would
fan.
love to see Superman gorging his face on a plate of nachos or something like that.
Can you imagine him with chimichangas? Damn. Well, I'll be honest, I don't have much more to say here.
What can you say about it? I mean, technically,
It's
I'll say I can say this. This is a complete series. Like we're done. This is not like a Seki gave me one and there's more. I don't think.
um
Is there more? That would shock me if there was more. I thought we ended pretty conclusively, which is wild to say for a series like this.
uh let me look.
I might have to
Let,
eat a shoe.
let me look. Okay. Why are you doing this to me, computer? Okay, here we go. Let's see. What the fuck?
What's that?
Um oh, okay, here it is. All right. Superman Meshi. It doesn't appear that there is another one.
What
Yeah.
I thought. It wraps up with like a pretty big like this is the ending moment.
Yeah, okay.
Like
Doesn't
continuing past that
appear.
point would just be because people want to see Superman eating more Japanese food. But I feel like it ended at the right time. I don't know that it if you kept this concept going for too long, how long they'd be able to sustain it.
Okay. That's what I was gonna say. One of the two authors, Satoshi Miyagawa,
Mm-hmm.
he's also one of the two authors that's writing the Joker manga.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so he's writing both the Joker, he's helping with write both the Joker manga and the Superman v Meshi. It does appear that the third volume is the last one. So yeah, this is a completed series.
I think so. It's probably a tie-in thing to come out like with like the DC hired them to do for a specific amount of time, so they probably knew how long they had.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Absolutely fascinating. I'd like genuinely, I think it's a series that you know what? I think this is a fun series that people could check out. You know?
Yeah, you can even
Yeah.
like this isn't like Wayne Family Adventures. You can be very passively like familiar with
Yeah.
Superman and you'd still get a decent amount out of this, I think.
Yeah, because you got Superman, Lois Lane, Darkseid, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman,
If you've even watched
Cyborg, and
one
Aquaman.
if you've even
Yeah.
watched one Superman continuity, you'll find something entertaining like in references here.
Oh, there's even a Lex Luthor reference.
Well, I hope there's a Lex Luthor in Superman.
Yeah. But yeah, no. It was good though. I enjoyed it. Well,
I enjoyed it as well.
I don't have much more to say about this.
Me
Um,
neither.
so with that being said, we'll move on to well, y'all are not gonna move on. We're gonna move on and you're gonna like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Wow, forceful. Bye.